Hello, everyone. Welcome to Aphex Twin Listening Party Part 3. And I guess I should really start specifying that it's more Richard D. James stuff at this point, right? We're just sort of things that he has made because he has lots of different projects. And y'all know the differences. I'm still sort of, getting to know his different outputs and how they sound different. But, yeah, I guess I kind of forgot to publicize this part 3. So I'm expecting some comments like, oh, no, I didn't know about this one. Oh, I missed it. But hello to those that are here. This is the last live stream in this studio. So this is a momentous moment. By studio, I mean my bedroom. So, yeah, let's have fun. Let's have fun in our little corner. Okay, so here are the guidelines, and I'll type as I write. Please request one Aphex Twin / Richard D. James, what have you, track in the comments below. One request per person, and first 30 minutes for all requests, then super chats only. Put song track, I should say track title in quotations, I guess, since I just people have requested songs that I thought they were just saying something because his track titles are so weird. Okay, sound good? All right, bam. And if you request something that we've just done in a previous live stream, we'll give you a chance to request something else. Okay, so for example, we've already listened to Polynomial C, right? Didn't we? Someone confirm. Didn't we? Anybody remember? I guess I'll go back and look. My wonderful mods will give me timestamps. Oh, maybe we didn't. Maybe it's just something that gets requested a lot, and so I recognize the name. Okay. Well, we didn't do it last time. And okay. Yeah, no, I think let's do it. Polynomial C. Okay. Ready? Ready? So this one's all based on arpeggios, broken chords, and it's like he's got two sets of the arpeggios. He has the one that sounds kind of like pretty and nice and like free and lovely, and then this one where it ends, which is the like one that's a little bit more squirrely and a little bit more dissonant. Okay, I got my piano tuned properly now. So, okay, let's see. So the first one. Okay, so this is something that you would hear like in a major key. So that's why it kind of feels like it's being gentle with you. And then the second one is okay, so he keeps this chord, but then the other one is kind of interesting. And he even has a little suspension thing. It feels like it goes to a minor chord, but I can't quite figure out where it starts. Because it also has this at the top. Maybe it's that. Yeah, okay, I got it. All right, that's cool. Yeah, so now in both cases, he's doing something called voice leading. Did he do this on purpose? Well, voice leading is just a fancy sounding name for moving the notes between chords as little as possible. So it's a very natural thing to do, whether you're playing an instrument or you're programming something. You know, it's like, yeah, you don't have to change everything. You would just maybe change one thing or two things. Milo, you just ate and we're not doing this again. I'm going to put my foot down, my little baby. I'm not going to jump up 5 times during this live stream to feed you. No. No, no, no. No, no, no. Yes, you're so cute. You want to come over here? The only way I can get her to come to me is to act like a cat. Or sound like her. Okay. Oh, it's not working. All right, fine. She's just gonna destroy my curtains. That's fine. Okay. But yeah, so he's just like moving, keeping one note the same and moving the other ones right next to it, so that or keeping one or two notes the same and then just moving like one or maybe two. Yeah. But this one's fun. Oh, that's pretty. Yeah, nice break beats. Again, I don't think there was a bass line, right? Nope. And then the chords, the little jabby chords, interesting syncopation too. It's kind of if you don't lock into the downbeat of the breakbeat, then I feel like you could get really thrown by that. The where they are in the bar is very strange, but you know, it's him. Okay. Next, I got the Tuss Last Rushup 10. That sounds familiar, but maybe does he have other Rushups? Or again, who knows? Maybe my brain is just thinking I don't think we know this. sound very 90s. Roboos, I look just like that emoji. Like exactly the same. Even the horns. So cool, but it's like kind of I have to protect my ears. That's his voice, isn't it? Well, this one's actually in tune. Really cool. I would like to listen to that in the car, not right up against my ears. Sometimes when the certain like high frequencies plus a lot of like contrast between on and off, just like gating or really like harsh like transients and then like silence. I don't know if it's like just the movement of the membrane or something and the way it's pushing the air, but I don't know. It just feels uncomfortable. So I like don't know what's happening and I don't want to like mess with my hearing, obviously. I don't want to like strain anything. So I just turned that one down a lot. I can still hear the notes, but it's not the same when it's like, almost not turned up at all. But yeah, that's pretty dope. This one has a little more like some glitch hop, I think, elements. It's changing direction so frequently, and there's times where you can get into the groove, but there's a lot of times where he starts something up and then he just completely derails it, and there's a breakdown suddenly, and also so many different parts, so much ear candy, and it swings. You can really hear it in the tambourine. I'm trying to do it. It was really fast. It's a little bit of a long, short, long pattern and not a perfect. It wasn't maybe as hard of a swing as I'm doing, but my tongue can only swing. Oh, wow. Sorry, I'm getting sidetracked by figuring out the mechanics of making this noise. It's tongue on the roof of the mouth like a T and then like a guttural thing in my throat. That's so funny. Marlo! All right. That one was, but that's really enjoyable. I'm actually gonna make a note of this one and put it on a playlist so I can listen in the car because I really liked so much about it. Oops. But I need the music to be further away from my place. Oh no, it's not on streaming, is it? God damn it. Of course. Oh well. Well, in my new studio, I'll have studio monitors, so maybe I'll just listen to it again then. Beatbox you went. I have never even attempted to beatbox. I have a feeling it would go very poorly. Yes, Milo. Hi. Yes, baby. Come here. Come here. Okay, so outside we've got some weather, and I have a feeling if you're in the U.S., you probably also have some weather. How's everyone doing? If you had a power outage, maybe you wouldn't be here, or maybe you're on your phone. We got freezing rain accumulation, so it looks like snow outside, which is wild. It's so rare to see white outside. And we did get a frozen pipe, unfortunately. It didn't burst, but we're trying to thaw it out. Despite our best efforts. Yeah. Okay. So that one, very cool. I would next take the request of pthex. Oh my God. That's so microtonal. You could still play that melody kind of though. Oh, that was cool. to this before, I'd be like, ugh. But I think it's pretty cool. The chords are creepy as fuck, though. They're all minor. At least minor-ish. Ooh, triplets! Man, that sounds almost like a half step, but it's not. Da da, it's like da. I wonder if oh my god. Oh my god, those are dangerously close to sounding like rototoms. Okay, fuck. Wow. I was just thinking the whole time listening to this, how weird it would be to try to write something microtonally if you've never done that before and you've spent your entire life writing things in tonal harmony. And excuse me. And what that would it basically be like writing something that you think would sound good in tonal harmony, but it just sounds like tonal harmony that's out of tune. But you like, if you were to sing it to someone, you would sing it like da 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 da, like, but when you play it, it just sounds a little out of tune. Or would you have to completely surrender to like the fact that it's just so different and there's nothing recognizable in there, and like just sort of play with like like your entire sense of like beauty and form and everything is like based on the intervals that you've grown up with your entire life, and now they're not there. What the fuck would happen? But I guess there's one way to find out. But yeah, I definitely can appreciate it. It's like pretty in a really weird way. And actually our tuning we use, which I can never remember if it's called just intonation or equal temperament. I think it's equal temperament. But it's not actually in tune with the overtone series, the mathematically set series of vibrations. When we hear a musical pitch, it's like a little bit out of tune, and at least some of the intervals are. And so like we're used to hear. Having said that, sorry, I'm like interrupting myself. Having said that, I have listened to some examples of like playing a major chord with our tuning and then hearing it in just intonation, which is like what it would be, how it would sound using the overtone series, which is again this like universal constant. And it does sound better to me. Like it just sounds more resonant, sounds more locked in with itself. And then ours just kind of, it does sound a little bit wonky. Anyway, okay, I'm going to stop wasting your time. But that was really, really cool. Also, so that one didn't have any swing whatsoever. But wouldn't it be funny if the difference between the Tuss is swing? That's it. I mean, the difference between the Tuss and Aphex Twin is just swing or not swing. Because, I mean, honestly, I'm not sure I've said, oh, this swings until we started listening to his other projects. So that's fun. But yeah, it's this one still had a lot of, I don't know, a lot of twists and turns in terms of like things changing on a dime. And, you know, suddenly sort of mangling what was happening for just like 1 second, and then everything goes back, and sort of feel like it's just kind of being fucked with the whole time, a little bit glitchy in that way. Yeah. And the 303 bass, I mean, it sounded like a bass line to me. That's what I would assign it the role of the bass line. It was so intensely like the it made me laugh a little bit at first, I have to admit. But anyway. Okay. Any chance of a Boards of Canada listening party? Well, probably not, because I've done videos on almost all their albums now. So the only one that's left is Tomorrow's Harvest. I mean, I know it's different, obviously, like listening to something with someone live. But all the Boards of Canada videos were edited down listening parties. So we've already kind of done that, you know. But if you didn't know that, oh, they have EPs. Okay, well then in that case, maybe we could do just listening party of their EPs and unreleased things. Okay, I'll consider it. Yeah. All right, now we're doing the last one before we switch to super chats only, which is I guess fans call it Matchsticks. It's number 24 from Selected Ambient Works II. Scary. version. Oh, that's confusing. So is this, whoever requested 24, is this the wrong 24? Actually, let me just see like a fan uploaded Matchsticks and see if it's the same. Okay, that's the right one. We're good. I did that. I thought that this one's crazy to me. It's so, for the most part, it feels kind of mysterious and even a little bit ominous and kind of creepy. But then there's one chord that makes it all feel okay. And every time it happened, I'd be like, I felt like I had been holding my breath the whole time, and then I finally exhaled. And then it would just seize back up because it would just go back to the creepiness. But most of these chords are, maybe all of them are minor, I mean. And when you play lots of minor chords next to each other, they have that disconnected sort of lost sound. But I'm guessing that the part where it felt like everything was okay was like the relationship between the chord before it going into this chord was like something that I maybe was familiar with, like I had an association from another piece of music, or it's like in a key or something, kind of, but it's okay, I won't. But another thing that makes it a little bit kind of creepy to me is the drums. There's these sort of like echoey knocking on something kind of drums, and it just put me in this space of like fog, in a forest, and hearing like I don't know, almost like maybe it wasn't a forest. I'm thinking now it was actually more like a bog or something. Where there's some open space and you can hear like echoes. But yeah, that kind of thing happening. Ugh, wow. But anyway, that's a little tip that you can take if you want to make something sound scary without trying. Just put a bunch of minor chords next to each other. Any, just like, don't even think about it. Just play minor chords. Watch. Scary. All right. Okay. No, it's super chats only. All right. Some of these titles. Laughable Butane Bob. I'm gonna have to. This is 061803's request. Sound like him. That's crazy. That was good. I mean, the drums are great. They're, it's dope. That whole breakdown in the middle with the just whatever that sample was that he programmed really, like little bursts, so it almost starts to sound like a cohesive sound in and of itself, but you're just hearing the little individual parts of it. Like it's very visceral. Like it felt like textural, like you were like you could imagine like making that noise somehow. Like scraping against something ridged. Or hey Milo, you want to contribute some notes? Because that's what we're going to talk about next. Just don't change the settings, please. Thank you. Okay, good. I think we're all right. But I think what struck me so much is just the cohesiveness and accessibility of the melodies. Immediately I was like, I would not have thought, oh, this sounds like Aphex Twin. It was just I love the tone of the synth. It's just I'm not sure what that wave is, but it just sounds so good. It sounds great in the bass range and also in the mid lows and even in the highs. It kind of reminds me of something I feel like I hear a lot in LCD sound system stuff. They use a ton of analog gear, but there's this, he has I think, you know what? Might be part of it. There's a lot of repetition in his melody here, but it's also, he has like a bass line, like an actual, come here, baby, an actual bass line, which I will play in just a moment. This is such a cute little tiny kitty I've got here. She's so tiny. She's such a tiny little girl. Yes, she's so easy to pick up. It's like yeah, whereas Pax is just a big mass. Picking him up is like, carrying him around the house takes a lot of effort. She's just like, such a tiny little delicate girl. Can I play the melody now? Do you want to play it? It's a little lower. Okay, it's down here. So so his bass line goes, and then, all right. So there's repetition in the bass line as well. It just ends on a slightly different note, but they're related. They're related by chord. So, like the chord that this one is doing. The bass goes to this note in the chord first, and then this note in the chord second. So it's like, and then the top is harmonizing with it. That's just such a sick. Sorry. It's a kind of a minor. Actually, I kind of felt like if I were to play this as a piano cover, I'd make it Dorian. That sound. Isn't that pretty? That's nice. That was nice. Definitely more like, I don't know what I was expecting with Laughable, Butane, Bob, but I guess something that maybe made me feel that like silly, playful kind of vibe from Syro, where I was just like actually laughing and stuff. But no, this one was actually really beautiful. And I like this one a lot. Okay. Yes, cat butt indeed. Cat butt. Little cat booty. All right. Next, let's do Johnny Tubster's request. Aphex the Goat. An underrated fave of mine is 170's tune from his SoundCloud dump. Flanger coating the main mix with a Prince vibe. It's fantastic. 70s tune. Okay. Let's see what we can find here. 170s tune. Sorry. Okay. I think I found it. You'll know I respect him, right? When I say this sounds like something I would have made when I was 8 on my Casio keyboard. Still fun. was 8. You're right. Well, didn't he put out Selected Ambient Works when he was like, or he wrote a bunch of that stuff when he was like in high school, 14, 15, 16. I mean, it's adorable. But this would definitely not be the first track you should ever play for someone if they want to know about Aphex Twin. They'd be like, okay. Show them this, then Fort Osmond, then April 14th, and look at their face. Yeah, right. We're going to start doing some 9 Inch Nails reactions with my mom. So if that goes well, maybe we'll try some Aphex Twin. I think she's going to hate it. Not 9 Shells. I think she might hate Aphex Twin. I don't think she's ever listened to anything like this before. No, we had to postpone it because of this winter weather. She couldn't drive down here. ML Monster. It's gonna be February 7th. Okay. Okay. Very cute. Before I load up the next one, I'm just going to grab something. And I gave in to Milo. Gave her some food. All right. Next, let's do Sweet River Baines requested Blackbox Live Recorder 21. Title track on his newest EP. This isn't a re-release, so you can check out his most contemporary stuff. Ooh, very cool. Let's do it. Swing. Guess there goes my theory. I'm not watching the video. Usually there's a downgrade in audio quality when I do that. So. The voice is nice. That's pretty. Yeah, it's I think yes, pretty much Milo. At the very end there, it really goes low. Nice weight, kind of wobbly, wavery chords that we all love. But essentially, nice hold on that last one. And then this one. Pretty. I think that would fit in a key. Yes. 5, flat 6, 1. Oh, flat 6, my love. But he really holds off on hitting that. Which is really, I mean, that's kind of tragic sounding, isn't it? It's really, really, I don't know. This feels sort of lost and ambiguous. It feels tender, but then this is like really dark. The drums are cool. They were a little like, they kind of pulled me a little out of the experience that the chords were giving me. And I almost wanted to hear more without them. But, you know, that's just me having preferences about someone else's work. I'm sure there was a reason. It has a groove, but also the groove had swing, and the swing makes things sound more casual. So maybe that's, to me, so maybe that's where I was sort of like feeling a conflict, but maybe that's the point. Maybe it's supposed to be like that. But they were cool. They were cool drums, no doubt. But I was really enamored with the harmony. That's nice. Okay. Next is, let's do, Venom has requested XMD5A. There is an ambient version? Oh, wow. Sound so far away. They sound like bells, I guess. The bass is so immediate. It's cool. And then that synth is sort of in the middle. Nice triplet action. Is a different key. Oh, I can't get into the piano, guys. I am trying to vibe. The vibe is bad. Yeah, Arash, I kind of agree with you. There's a difference between dissonance and just disconnection. To me, I love dissonance, but when it doesn't feel like there's a relationship between things, I struggle. It just reminds me of all the clap is so pop. Great. That sounds like one of those lead synths from like anthemic like trance. It's got that detuned inside of itself, and it's got that sort of alarm sound like it's so nostalgic. Okay, a few really interesting questions or points being made in the chat that I just feel like I have to respond to. Melanster was asking about the connection between like why certain notes make us feel certain things, and that's really the whole reason that I started this channel, is to explore that exact question. Like, how come when this happens, I feel this? It's nothing to do with the lyrics. It's like, and if I take all the production elements away, I still feel it. It's something to do with the notes themselves, or the rhythms, or the notes with the rhythms, or, something so basic about it that still makes me feel things. That is fascinating. So yeah, I don't have I can't write a thesis about it, but I feel like my whole channel is the closest thing I'll ever get to sort of answering that question when I have the time to really go into a song so deeply, where I can literally analyze every single note change, every single harmony, every single, and go, why do I feel this way? But then when it switches, it feels like this. And is it because of this? Is it because, and every scale has all these qualities to me that I ascribe to it. And well, I would say actually not ascribe. It's like I feel them from the scale. And then, all certain intervals actually have like qualities that feel like, again, not intrinsic, that they can change depending on context, which is another fascinating thing. But, it's like, why do I always love the flat six? What is it about that? It makes me feel this way. A lot of it, I think, has to do with dissonance and consonance, tension, release, and all maybe coming back to the harmonic series. I don't know exactly, but I'm sure there's other people studying it. I would love to be their best friend. The brain and how, because music only exists in our brains, which is also just wild. Like, it's not like there's music out in outer space. There's no sound. It's just the way that we process vibration in the air. Music is in us only. That's fucking bonkers. So it's like not separated from our human experience, except that frequencies are universal, but the way that we translate them into this experience is ours. Anyway, so yeah, I think it's the coolest thing ever. Another person said musicians can't really analyze electronic music because they want everything to be in tune. I mean, you're not completely wrong. I mean, a lot of musicians, like we have this familiarity with a certain tuning, which is just like this Western tuning that everything's in, and so when things start to get microtonal, it kind of breaks some of our the structures that we've built to understand music. But I would push back to say that it's not that we need everything to be in tune to like it or to analyze it or reflect what it's doing to us. But there are certain kinds of dissonance that I find challenging, and then all the other kinds I love. You cannot have, I think, a whole lot of storytelling ability with music without dissonance. It's kind of like taking out the whole struggle of being alive. So you got to have dissonance. And I need dissonance. Dissonance is essential. Plus, you can't have resolution without the tension, which is usually created by dissonance. There's other ways to do it too, but where I have trouble is when it sounds like there's an element that's just dropped onto the song that doesn't feel like has a relationship to the rest. And it might have a rhythmic relationship, which is really what I should be hanging on to. But sometimes my brain will just really crave just a little bit more acknowledgement of what else is happening around it to really accept it and have it be a part of the song. Otherwise, it sounds like it's literally sitting on top of it and it's distracting as fuck. So that piano part, the first two chords just felt like the most random shit ever. And then the last two felt like they sunk their teeth into the song. I could relax because they made some kind of sense. They had something in common with something else happening, And what does that even mean? Something in common? Yeah, I mean, literally it could be they have some notes in common. It could be that the relationship they make is an interval that we've created some association with. It could be anything, right? It's not necessarily definitive, but yeah, so once the piano went away, it certainly was more interesting for me listening to that song because I could actually pay attention and feel so much more happening instead of just that one thing. But then again, I still feel that if music is not meant, if it's not written to make you feel good, right? If it's meant to provoke you in some way and that's put in there on purpose, then it did its job and it's effective. And I can't criticize it. I can't be like, that's bad. I can just say, wow, that created a really intense reaction for me. And that's art, you know? So anyway, okay. So that was great. Very thought-provoking piece of music. That last part I loved. It really did sort of feel, someone said he's pulling a window licker. You're right. It kind of just turned into another song, although it was maybe a little bit more gradual than window licker, which, by the way, I still can't get that last part out of my head. Literally, it's in my head almost every day. And I just want to listen to that part on repeat. And I'm pretty sure the reason I know it is because someone did make a loop of it forever and ever or something. Like, I swear in my memory, it kind of reminds me of like the way when you listen to the Background World, if any of you know that by Nine Inch Nails, the whole last like 5 minutes is this tape loop of something. And there's a little bit of a hitch when it starts over, like it doesn't start over seamlessly in time. So in my head, that window licker loop repeats like that, where it ends with the blah, 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 and then it kind of like starts back over in a weird way. I just can't remember how I've heard that, who looped it, how I've listened to it looped. But yeah, now it's stuck in there forever. Okay, our next one, let's do a Connor requested Circlon 3 and asked that I watch the music video, which was made by a 12-year-old Aphex Twin fan. So I'm going to do that. Oops. Okay. Bloopy bloopy and bleepy. 12 years old, wow. Have fun. That must have been an amazing moment for them. God. I guess I can't look at the chat while I watch this. Oh, I could put on another window. Never mind. What a cutie. Oh, there's a bunch of cuties. Oh no! God, I can't imagine being an Aphex fan at 12 years old. That's pretty badass. want that on my ceiling, those lights. Seriously. Oh my God. Rifle? Funky. Long. Is it okay if I maybe like give it a fade out? Just want to have lots of other requests to get to. Whoa! It's okay. Don't worry about it. No apology needed. Nice. Well done, Ryan. Oh, Ryan directed it. Okay, well, I don't know. Okay. Yeah, okay, so that was sweet. And that one's funky. It's got a lot of funk, the bass line. He's got a bass line in this one. And then it also has, but his like lofty pads on top to soften everything. Sometimes I think of pads as like clouds. You know, they just like, if I had to visually depict a pad, it would totally be like maybe some of those like stratus clouds or something. That's really how they sound to me. And then over like a very jagged terrain, right? You know, it's super accented and, you know, jabby. Little fluffy clouds, yeah. Yeah. Cool. And funk. All right. Next, let's do... Peter, did you want to listen to Beetles again? I'm fine with it. It's short. Just let me know in the chat. Okay, Lucky Noob requested Rhubarb Orc 19.53 Rev. Okay, I'm definitely interested in what this is because Rhubarb is my favorite. But I wonder what this is. Oh, sorry, it's muted. All right, okay. Is so intentionally wide, it's crazy. These are the chords from Rhubarb, but in a different order. Oh my God. That was incredible. Hi, Milo. Thank you for your booty. I love your butt. I do. I love all of you. Well, I'm just glad we did this because I've been wanting to make a video about rhubarb. So now I feel like I can make a video about rhubarb and then this version and any other version there might be. I should make sure that I've covered all my bases because, you know, they're clearly related. I mean, I know he has some tracks where he reuses like names sort of, but they don't necessarily like actually share material. And that's part of like the fun he's having. But this does. This is the chords are the same, but they're just in a different order. I don't know if they're just reversed or if they're just reordered. But as I started, I had this suspicion. I was like, something about this feels like it could be a reversal. And then when I started to play them on the piano, I was like, oh yeah, no, these are the same chords. And there was even that high note at the end of it. And I don't know if it's the same high note in rhubarb, but there's a high note at the beginning of it. It goes da da and then da da da. So the whole track is reversed. I mean, it didn't sound like the strings were reversed for the most part, you know, but there was definitely reversed vocals, and there was I think there was a bass part that maybe was reversed, and that's the distorted part that was coming in, played in reverse. Oh, you mean so they took the composition of rhubarb and then reversed it and then played it. Okay, that totally tracks. Yeah, that makes sense. This chord, that's the one that got me. So it started here. Sorry, I keep playing mine. And then it went to, and then, sorry, wrong. F sharp. Milo, honey. Make it minor, girl. So rhubarb goes, the first one goes. It's not exactly reversed. Because it starts up here. On the D, in any case, that chord is the one, that last chord, which is the second one and the reversed one. So that's again why I feel like it's not actually reversed. I'm not sure. Maybe I'm just hearing the loop differently. What do you need, my baby, my little princess? Anyway, okay, moving on though. No, that was absolutely gorgeous, beautiful arrangement. I'm curious who I'm assuming he collaborated, you know, for an arrangement, given that he said he doesn't like, you know, read music or anything. So he probably had an arranger, work with him, but, anyway, everyone involved did an incredible job. That was so, I don't know, to me, it felt incredibly sad. I just like, it was like also, it was like bittersweet, I guess, which is kind of the feeling I get from rhubarb too. It's sort of, there's a lot a lot of the human experience encapsulated, but it's in this very like tender way, you know. It's just it felt like it should be in a movie. If it hasn't already been, it would be so impactful. And the, little bit of that suspenseful tremolo in the strings. But, oh, wow. Yeah, that's gorgeous. Great. Well, perfect. I'll add that to the video when I make it. That's just absolutely amazing. I almost just want to end there. I'm not going to, but I want to be left with that. I don't want to overwrite how I just felt. Okay. All right. Let's do Torsktunda's request every day. Wait, did we do this one already? The drums are really cool, very intricate, but not harsh. So great on headphones. I like whatever these sounds are. They sound like they kind of do feel a little bit like found sounds. You know, it doesn't sound exactly like a snare, a clap. You know, it's just like some interesting sounds with transients that he kind of arranged. It has this nice pulsating the whole time, right? Really pushing it forward. And then I got a bass line. I do love a bass line. I got to tell you, I love a bass line. All black keys, baby. Oh yeah. And I really like the vocal sample. It's funny if you listen to people talking, screaming, yelling, whatever, over and over. Or even it doesn't have to be people. Actually, it could be any sound that could have pitches in it, even if they're constantly changing, like a voice does. Right? It's like, it's pitches going up and down and all over the place. I'm never like holding out a pitch. Like I'm not talking like this, right? But if you listen to that stuff over and over and over again in the context of music, I feel like you start to pick out some of the pitches. Or in this case, it was not necessarily about the pitches. It was also the rhythm. So, again, you'll just keep repeating something and you'll start to, I think it's because our brains are trying to organize the sound. Music is like organized sound, right? And so if you put something that's inherently not organized, but you put it into a context that is, the brain is like trying to organize it. That's maybe my hypothesis. And so it's like after a while, get me another tie, my brain started trying to like almost make it have a rhythmic feel to it. So whenever it would happen, I was like, ooh, that's nice. That was cool. Yeah. Okay. Next is Lucky Noob. You are a lucky noob. Mangle 11 circuit bent VIP mix. Someone asked me how my move is going. Yeah, I am moving. I'm packing. My room is chaos. And this is the last live stream, music lesson, anything on this desk. So I thought once our 2 hours is up, I'm going to start taking everything down behind me, and you can hang out with me while I do it, and we can listen to a little bit more Aphex Twin. Take down the bed here and everything until it's all gone. Okay, here we go. Weird. Literally feels like the jungle right now. That's cool. Perfect music for Milo's feisty mood. She really wanted to play with something. Now she's not sure. She might have it out of her system. Yeah, we're done? Okay. That's really cool. There was a couple moments in there that reminded me of something from Drukqs, and I don't know exactly which track it was, but moments where it just had that energy, and then it would like glitch. What are you doing, Milo? She's sticking her paw into a tissue box. To get a tissue? But you can see it. Oh, guess. Come on, Milo, do it again. Do it again. Do it again. Come on, girl. No? Ah! All right, whatever. Very cute, but of course now I'm not going to use that tissue. That's for you. This is yours now. Here you go. What was I saying? Oh yeah, where it suddenly, he did that thing. I think it's with a gate where it suddenly goes like a he's all like there you go, Clores. That's me beatboxing. Oh. That's cool. That was good. I like that one. I like the breakdown too. It was like a nice relief. Just like that. Nice. Yeah, it was kind of jungly. Also, there was a sample that almost reminded me of like when you're listening to dub or jungle, and there's like, you know, some Rasta, but they're like yelling and it's all distorted. And yeah, that's fun. And then of course there sound like there were jungle animals. So okay, wow, time goes fast. Let's listen to Circle Puller's request, Phoenix Funk 5, or if already played, Silonen. I don't know that we've done Phoenix Funk 5. That doesn't sound familiar. But again, I'm just going off of my memory, so who knows? Once I hear it, I'll feel it. I don't recognize this album cover or anything. Oh, I think this... Fuck! What? Okay, it just got real medieval. Tissue? Tissue? Okay, that sounds like a voice. Is it? Or is it just some synth that sounds like a voice? Love all those. The delay. This is fun. This is a good one. Something about the bass line kind of reminds me of like a 90s dance track. Like something that would have been on the radio. Ooh! God, drunk clock. Wow, this is everywhere. how we took out a lot of the subdivisions. That's just okay, now they're coming back. Okay, that was cool. That one had a lot in it, just so many different parts. But he didn't overload it, in my opinion. It felt like really well spaced out over time, and because you can layer up things to the point where it's like it's almost like each part now has lost something, and so that was really good. That was a nice stacking of ingredients in the sandwich. Milo, do you want more food? Is that what's going on? Well, I'm gonna give her more food, and then I'll put on a little bit more from your requests while I start to take my studio apart. The end of an era. Okay, I'll be right back. You want a little more num-nums? All right. So, obviously I'm dressed for the occasion. I really wanted to dress up for this last live stream. So, no, I'm just comfy. I'm just comfy as fuck. All right. Let's do. Oh, and where am I moving? I'm not moving like to another state or anything. Not even another city. Just the circumstances at this rental. I just can't stay anymore. And I'm glad to be leaving, honestly. So I have a new rental situation set up that I'm very excited about. And I'm going to be able to put my studio in a different room than my bedroom, which is great. And I'll have more space there. I won't be in a corner anymore. And I'm excited about that. I'll be able to set up studio monitors and actually acoustically treat the space. And yeah, I think it's going to be really great. So it's all positive. All right. Let's do, Nikolai requested Fingerbibs and gave me a really fun little graphic, I guess. What do you call that? Where you type in characters on, but it doesn't look like words, just looks like shapes. What is that called? All right, I guess I need my headphones for this. was really kind of cute, actually, but I enjoyed that one. It's kind of like the 70s tune, but more mature. But it got kind of detuned at the end. That was kind of fun. Very playful. All right. Let's do Dimension 94's request. Lisbon Acid. Okay, that sounds somewhat familiar, but maybe it was just something that someone else requested at some point. Put out a feeler and attached. That's crazy. I was behind the acoustic panel. What the fuck? part is this little like. I love the rhythm it's at. Surprisingly good music for like doing things and accomplishing stuff. It's very motivating, at least this style of Aphex Twin. All right, next is Positron Alpha's request, Discrept 4. I love that. I really like this last one, by the way. Lisbon Acid, very, very dope. I would listen to that one again for sure. Head-banging lamp, you'll be missed. Oh yeah, this. It'll have a new place. Not where my head is, that's for sure. What? That's cool. Oh my lord, okay. Is that it? Fuck. Well, I'll listen to that one again. That's really fucking cool. Crazy rhythms. The triplets there at the end. Very cool. It kind of sounded like, I mean, there's definitely a piano going on. Was it a piano the entire time? Just one of his prepared pianos? Was it programmed? Was it a disclavier? Disclavier? How do you say it? Disclavier? You tell me. Almost sounded marimba-like, but not quite. Computer-controlled acoustic instruments. Oh. There we go. Yeah, that's fucking cool. Next is, we're going to do Beetles again. Peter requested Beetles, and I hope Peter's still here because we're going to do it again. I just typed in Beetles and it just brought me to like the Beetles, you know. Next is Omega Switch's request, Reload remix of On. What does Reload remix mean? Is this Aphex Twin? Reload remix. I'm going to put this in the chat. Can you guys do research for this? On this for me, please? Okay, then we'll do Fubar. Cuckoo. Cuckoo. Of the Cuckoo that he's playing, basically, melodically. Feels like kind of like that he's not above being literal. He's like, I sampled a Cuckoo, and here's a track called Cuckoo, and I'm going to put the Cuckoo in the track. That was actually really cute as well, I think. Very fun. And I could see myself enjoying that when I was like a little kid, you know, like that. That's like very like motivating and exciting and cute. And all right. Next is Marcos' request song. 34 Ibiza Spliff. I swear, sometimes I'm like, have we listened to this before? This weird string of characters and a number. That one was so chill. I would listen to that again. It's beautiful. It's kind of lo-fi in a way. Or feels lo-fi-ish. Oh, my hair looks crazy right now. But I feel crazy, so everything's just right. Isn't a spliff like a cigarette and a... Or it's like tobacco and pot, right? Next is Gentle People Journey Aphex Twin Care Mix. Do I have... Oh, I do have plant matter in my hair. Cool. This is long. That did not sound like Aphex Twin at all. I mean, maybe for those of you that are big fans, it did. That was, wow, that was really good. Did I get the link for the reload mix? No, I didn't. Thank you. That was so, what is it? Like, Bossa Nova? It was pretty magical. All right, here's that remix. The on reload remix. Reload mix. Thanks, guys. about these, though, you cut in between these nodes and you put them in water and they grow new roots, and then you can take like, I don't know, 5 to 10 of those and put them all in a pot and you have a whole new plant. So it's not a waste, and it'll grow back from that spot that I severed it. This is why this actually makes me think a lot about what life and death really is, because you could be like, this is dead now, but it's not. It's literally not dead. It still has water in it, inside of, its stem. In the leaves, there's still water. It has light. It's going to keep growing for a few more days, and then it'll run out of water. If I don't put it in water, I could wait maybe a few more days, and then I could still put it in water, and it would still make new roots. So even though it looks like it's dying, it's not actually dead. It has the potential to keep living. But at some point, it goes too far. Anyway, I think I want to do an album called Third State. It's about this exact thing, called this third state of existence. That was really pretty, that song. Next is Sockmace's request. Aphex Twin 14 Cornish Spreek 5B St. Nectan St. Glen Waterfalls mix. That is the most Aphex Twin title in all of existence. It's hilarious. It sounds like a computer did that. Like trying to sound like Aphex Twin. to be a cat too. Sorry for the chewing. Next is AFX 808 State Flow Coma. That's wild. Those are the lyrics. Next is Polygon Window Portrait Harbor. Oh, 1 request per person, lucky noobs. I think you already got one, right? Just to be fair. Pillowcase, you just joined again. Oh yeah, I'm taking the studio apart. But I think we're done. I mean, not with the studio, but with our stream. I'm just gonna keep working on this. Gosh, it's so funny. Just standing on the ladder, it's so much hotter up there, you know, heat rises and all. All right. Well, everyone, the end of an era. This is my 3rd era, if you count like places I've had made my videos. My bedroom studio is the first one, where my bed was behind me. Remember that? I was up against a window. Like my keyboard was right against the window, and then my chair was obviously right behind the keyboard, and then it was right up against my bed. That was a tight squeeze. And I used the window for lighting, and I put my iPhone on the window to record my videos. Yeah. And then I got a webcam, and I put a table. How did I do that? How did I put the laptop in front of the keyboard? I can't remember. Maybe it wasn't right up against the window. Anyway, then in that same house, I was able to move my studio to a different room. But, so that was the second spot. And I still see those videos, and it looks really nice behind me. I had a nice setup. I had the Cheerios candle. And then this is the 3rd one, the corner studio. The reason I'm in the corner is twofold. Well, yeah. You know, I'm back in one room. So just the way the room is shaped, you know, I didn't really want to have my bed behind me anymore. I thought that was kind of creepy and weird. But I had no options back then. So I was like, well, maybe I'll do the corner. And I could have put it maybe somewhere else, except that there are windows everywhere in this room. Great for the plants, great for mental health. But you don't really want to be sitting right in front of a window. It's really difficult to deal with the lighting, or you have to have blackout curtains. And blackout curtains just look bad. They always look bad. And I was like, and then I'd have to have like another curtain for like a backdrop. I mean, it just was like too complicated, I guess. It felt too complicated. So I'm in between 2 windows right here. The only other spot would have been in that other corner between 2 windows, and this spot was slightly bigger. And that's that. Yeah. So I made it work, though. It's been cramped back here, but, you know, especially when my mom comes over and is doing live streams with me, that's been like, I can't get out from behind here unless I crawl under the desk. If she's sitting here. Anyway, yeah. I'm glad to be leaving, but it's still sad, you know, a little bit bittersweet for sure. What are the cream squares? Yeah, these are acoustic panels, so they just absorb some echoes off the walls. And these are longer ones. I'm hoping that I can at some point invest in some actual like bass traps, though, so that I can maybe have an environment where I could possibly mix something. It won't ever be like as good as a professional, but like, you know, just mix things better than I be able to check things on speakers instead of just my headphones. And that'd be nice. No, I didn't make them. I bought them from Prime Acoustic. But I did cover them myself with a different fabric. I, for some reason, thought that I would get gray. And then I realized I don't like gray. And doesn't match anything that I have. And the walls that I had at the time were basically this color. So I just got some fabric at the fabric store, and then there's actually a video somewhere of me doing it, like a time lapse, but I'm pretty sure I just glued it. Yeah, I glued it on. But they came out great. I mean, they look, like they're meant to be like that. But yeah, base traps are huge. They're like 4 to 9 inches thick. These are only an inch and a half, so, but I'll have a bigger room, than obviously this corner. So I should be able to have some things jutting out into the room a bit. How did I make them so tight? Oh yeah, I did. I pinned them on first. I actually just found one of the pins that I forgot to take out. Like sewing pins. So I just folded it up and pinned them, and then I glued them on. Yeah. They're not cheap. No matter how thick they are, they're just expensive. But yeah, I probably could make them. I'd like to get into some basic carpentry. And this new house has a garage, so I should be able to, and it even has a workbench already. So that's cool. I love making things. I'm going to put a lot of my making things energy, though, into making things for the cats. I want to make lots of fun things for them to jump on all over the walls, up the walls, on the ceiling. And also the new house has stairs, so I want to put stuff that goes up the stairwell. So they have that whole vertical space of just blah, 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 blah. So I bought a bunch of cardboard shipping tubes, which were not expensive. And then I bought that sizzle rope. It's just really thick jute, basically. And then, sorry. And then I'm just going to wrap them tightly, and then staple gun the ends. And then you can screw them. I have to figure out how to screw inside of one of them. I guess I could actually just screw through the whole thing. No, I don't have a drill bit that long. Yeah, I'll have to figure out how I want to mount them to the wall, but I'm sure there's plenty of YouTube videos of that. So I'm excited. And I also, there's a balcony that's off of the studio, and I'm very, 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 very excited about having a balcony. And just I love the outdoors. So being able to have some sort of somewhat sheltered but outdoor space is giving me life. So I'm gonna get this stuff called cat netting. It's a nylon and steel reinforced rope that's tied, in the small openings, and you just kind of fasten it to the wood posts and facing and everything, and then that way the cats can hang out with me on the balcony and they can't escape or fall, but it'll be so breezy and wonderful up there, and it won't really affect our visibility looking out at all the squirrels and birds and things. So, yeah, that's going to be really, really nice. I just have to figure out the best way to let them out onto the balcony without me having to open the door. I'm thinking of getting an insert for the window. There's one door and one window in that room. So the window and the door both face to the balcony. Maybe I can just get one of those little not doggy doors, but kitty doors for the window, essentially. I think they make that. A Juliet balcony, or a proper big one you can put seats out on. Proper big. Yeah. Yeah, I have to get some furniture too. Yeah, I'll probably be doing lots of live streams so I can afford all this stuff, y'all. Is it complicated to set up your streams? I mean, at first, but now that it's all now that I know how to set it up, it's kind of just, I don't have to do a whole lot anymore. And I can even duplicate the settings from a previous stream so I don't have to start from scratch. So that's also nice. But yeah, setting up OBS is what I use. It's a free live streaming software. That took a little doing at first, but once you get it set, then you're good. Yeah. Bird stand for the nightingales. I definitely want to feed the birds. I think I want to feed them really high up though, because there's definitely some cats that roam around, 2 orange cats that I've met at the new house that roam around And, they might not be bird killers, but they probably are. What camera do I use? Oh, it's Logitech Brio, I think it's called. 4K. Yeah. They're not going to be my cats. Not unless I let them in. No vertigo. How high is the balcony? I mean, it's on the second story. I don't know. I think the cats are going to love being up high. I mean, cats love being up high. Especially Mila. She's obsessed. Hi, I'm talking about you, Pax. Yeah. You're going to love it so much. The only thing is to install the cat netting in a way that allows the cats to hang out like on the balcony, like framing. There's like a thing in the middle that can, I can't think of the word. There's the vertical posts, horizontal posts. There we go. So they could like lie down on those, but I'd have to climb on the ladder and attach it to the outside of the balcony, not the inside. So I know that would be the best thing for them, but I don't love ladders. I have a good ladder, but I definitely have some people spotting me, or maybe I'll just be like, can you guys do it? Maybe I have a friend who would be like, yeah, I'll just do all that for you. I'll be like, I'll write you a song. Maybe it would be good to get over my fear of being on a ladder. I don't know what it is. It's just ladders specifically. Don't love ladders. What microphone is this? It is a Aventone CK6. Some engineer was kind of raving about them and just saying they're just so solid. They're like affordable, but like just so great. He's like, I have so many of these in my studio, and and I was like, that's good enough for me. So I got this one and I love it. And I was given a Rode NT1 and I don't love it. So, yeah. And I covered it with contact paper so that it looks cool. I love how this is becoming a little Q&A. That's nice. What did you get out of your Aphex Twin exploration? Have you enjoyed what you've heard? Yeah. I think what I've got out of it is that this is probably one of the few artists where I really, for the most part, can't pin down what his sound is, which is really kind of impressive. I mean, I do pattern matching essentially for a living. I'm like always noticing these thumbprints that people leave, and his is so elusive because I don't know. I'm not exactly sure why that is, but I mean, there's certain tracks where I'm like, oh, this reminds me of another track of his I've heard. So I can be like, yeah, that sounds kind of like him. But then, I mean, I guess for a while I was like, oh yeah, he like doesn't really have bass lines, and he's got these kind of certain kinds of glitchy beats, and then he's got these sort of detuned like pads, but that was only when I had listened to like Drukqs. That's it. Now that we've listened to so much more, I'm like, I have no fucking idea. Have I enjoyed it? Some yes, some not so much. I mean, I wouldn't say I disliked it. I guess, like, would I listen to a lot of this again? I don't know. There's certain tracks that jump out and I'm like, yes, I would listen to that again. And I probably will listen to those again. And there's certain tracks on Drukqs that I will queue up and listen to again. In some ways I enjoyed it more while I was doing that stuff than just sitting here and listening to it. So that's also interesting. Is like, it kind of gets into you a different way when you're left focusing only on it versus when it's in the background. And I was like, man, I'm really enjoying all this while I was working. Like not a single track where I was like, oh gosh, this is rough. Not a single one. So it could have been a coincidence, but I don't know. Yeah, I feel tired now. You'd pay good money to see him making a track. Yeah. That would be pretty amazing. FX node 2-story ladder. Yeah, it's a 2-story ladder. Well, it's actually kind of a convertible. You can have it as just like an A ladder. I don't know what you call it. Step ladder in your house, and then you can extend it. Yeah. I mean, I'd do a lot for my cats. I think I would definitely climb a ladder for them, but I'll have people spot me if I do it. Don't worry. And I would practice maybe about what it is how I'm going to be fastening the net to the wood beforehand. So I'm not like fumbling up there. Like, what am I doing? So next stream is already in the new place. Yeah, the next stream will be in the new place. Yes. I think the next stream is actually going to be me and my mom on February 7th, reacting to her listening to Nine Inch Nails for the first time. Unless, so my birthday is on Wednesday, not this Wednesday, next Wednesday. So if I just decide like that's something I want to do on my birthday is hop on and live stream for a bit, I might do that. I don't know. Maybe I could play you some music that I really like, and we'll see. I don't know. That'll be 1 week from when I move. So yeah, the studio should be, I mean, it might not look like much at that point, but it'll be functional. I'm going to try to get it as set up as I can as quickly as possible. Well, I don't want to move right now. I just want to sit here. I'm probably hungry. I'm probably having a blood sugar crash. I made chili overnight in the crock pot. And that sounds really good right now. I make chili the way I like it. It's definitely like a blasphemous for a Texan. Texas chili is like ground beef and sauce. That's it. I'm like, oh my God, what? Mine has 2 kinds of beans and bell peppers and onions and chopped up bison. Thanks for the well wishes, Pishbot. Hella good. I feel like if you want to straight up musical analysis if you want to do straight up musical analysis in the IDM realm, Square Pusher is the musician you want to look at. He's actually jazz and classically trained. Yes, I have heard some Square Pusher. It's quite impressive. But he's way more trained than I am. I don't know if I could analyze. I mean, jazz is so out of my wheelhouse. Really, really is. Yeah. Me Morp is used to Texas chili with beans. Oh, good. That sounds just more, I don't know, interesting. Hey, Pax. There's a lot of birds out, even though it's like frozen outside. They're like really, they're probably looking for food. Maybe that's what they're like, really looking hard for food. I ran out of bird seed. There's a lot of fun things to look at outside, buddy, isn't there? I would dig Clark. Yeah, we've listened to some Clark on some of the live streams, and I do remember digging it. Not that I can remember exactly what it sounded like, but I remember when I like things. I remember my reactions. Yeah. What are your plans for the stream? Where do you want it to go? You mean for the live stream with my mom? For the 9 Inch Nails stream? Or you mean talking about live streaming in general? Well, the cats don't know that we're moving. I've been slowly moving things over to this new house for a little while now. And Pex is falling asleep sitting down. That's really cute. Hey, sweet boy. You sleepy? Yeah. So, they seem fine. I've been definitely like keeping an eye on them to make sure it's not stressful, but like slowly changing things seems to be working. Of course, moving day is going to be, it's going to be a shock no matter what, but I'm going to put them in the spare bedroom that we could never seem to rent out this past year, which is part of why we have to leave. And keep like a cat tree in there and, you know, some of their stuff that they like. So because right now that's what's in it basically is just like a cat tree and a box and some toys. So I'll just like leave that the way it is. So while we're moving, they'll just be in there, and then I'll come and get them, and you know, all their stuff will be in the new place. So I think it'll be great. No, I don't know that album, Thunder Secondaire. Wow, I want to take a nap. Jesus. I'm not going to, though. I have a lot to do. Is it a long drive from this house? No. 20 minutes, maybe. Well, with traffic, yes. Do I have a fave Aphex Twin album so far? No. I mean, out of the 3 I've listened to, I think Drukqs is the one that I would listen to again first. So remember before we started doing these like artist-specific listening parties, we were doing everything by year, by genre. So I still have lots of ideas for that kind of thing. Like one of my patrons actually suggested this yesterday. What was it? They were like, oh, let me find it. I think it was, where was it? Shit, I'm not sure. Well, anyway, there's some other really cool topics. It was something to do with, fuck, I can't remember. Damn. Do I like ambient type music? I do. I really love ambient music. I like making it too. I have one released ambient track, and then I have a bunch of stuff that, you know, no one else has ever heard. Actually, I guess I technically released another one, in-person events, right? On Bandcamp. I haven't listened to it in a while. I wonder if it's good. When I started making music, I was in the trance scene. No, I started making music when I was like 5. So I was piano, keyboard stuff. But the first music that I would say I produced was trance. Yeah. I should do Selected Ambient Works II next. Yeah, I kind of agree with you. This was written to a video, so it has this kind of weird cadence to it. It's kind of weird watching or listening to it without the video. It was this, my friend would go to the beach and he had this really interesting camera technique. He would make these like there's a still from it on the Bandcamp release, but it's like radial and it's like little mirrors. I don't know. Harsh Mickey, yeah. Oh, I forgot about this part. This is using a plugin and reason called the alligator. It's a gate. Oh yeah, I'm sure the sub is completely out of control because I mixed it and I can't mix, so yeah, I'm sure it's brutal. Sorry about that. I use Logic now. This was probably right before I switched to Logic. I think this is now 4 years old. Yes, it's like kaleidoscopic, exactly. That's what it looks like in this video, but it's moving, you know. Did I put it on my YouTube or not? No, I didn't. Interesting. Maybe he was gonna like edit it down to the best parts or something. I forget. Anyway. My voice is a whisper compared to the song. Oh, sorry. Oh, yeah. This is kind of more of an experiment. It wasn't really, I don't remember any of this. But the most recent ambient thing I made was Big Womb from Decca. It's a lot simpler than this. Here's Big Womb. From YouTube, it sounds really squashed. Maybe I should have done it from Bandcamp. Sorry for your sub. good ending to the studio. That's life, you know? Things end, things begin. Sometimes it's the same thing. Yeah, and Aetherius just reminded me I produced my album here, so that's also like just a thing to, you know, say goodbye to. But there'll be lots of things coming in this new space, so that's great. Yeah. All right, I guess I should go. I think I'm gonna have my chili and take a break and refuel, drink some water, and then get back to packing. Whew. So, yeah. Thanks so much for coming and for your excellent suggestions today, I have to say. Aphex Twin-ness. And for your donations and making all this possible. And I will look forward to seeing you with a blank wall behind me in about a week and a half. Yeah. Yes, I know, stomach. I know. I'm just feeling grateful and sad. All right. Have a good one, y'all. Until next time.